Michelle, it's Carron, and I'm going to try to talk you through what I'm going to do in order to troubleshoot and find the issue that you are referring to that you said you ended up having on one of your WordPress pages. Okay, so what I have done is I've opened up the back end of the regular network area, and then I've opened up another tab next to it, which is the dashboard for Oakview Estates, which is the website you're having issues with. Next to that, I have the LoopBuddy settings page, the LoopBuddy queries page, the LoopBuddy layout page, and your community info page, which is the page itself that we're having issues with. I've also opened up one of the location custom post types, which is the custom post type that you're trying to display on the community info page. And then I've also opened up the front end of the website to look at the page that is having the issue. And as you can see, it is having the issue. I'm going to go ahead and refresh it real quick just to make sure that it's still having the issue. In talking to you, you said what you wanted to have happen was you wanted to have a list of sorts of all of the locations on the community information page. So I start with the community information page, and I can see right away that you have your LoopBuddy enabled down here. We do not want to have LoopBuddy enabled down here because we want the community information title to show up on the front end, and then we want to have all of the locations listed. So we will, in essence, be placing the query for the layout and the the short code for the query and the layout is going to go in here once we know exactly what it is. So I go back to my settings page, and I want to make sure that you do actually have a locations post type, and you do. We have a query and a layout. Individual location, no, we want this to be all of the locations because we want this set to our individual location layout. So this may actually have to change later as well. Although if your layout that displays all of the locations is the same as what you want your individual locations to be, then that's what you need to do there. Okay, so this query, I'm assuming, let's go check. We're going to go to our queries page. We have individual locations and we have locations. We're going to be looking at locations because we want all of our locations to show up. So I'm going to open that one up, and we have locations, which is the name. Author doesn't matter. We have the title. We do want the title to show, and it looks like you want it to be A to Z. That makes sense alphabetically. Post type is locations. Published is correct. Yes, you do want to display all of them, so -1 is correct. Enable paging, no, no, no. User comment, no. Let's just open this one up. You don't have any category parameters, which is fine because you're pulling all of them, so we shouldn't have to. Here's another one. We don't need that, so we're going to remove that one. And I'm going to save my query. Once I save my query, I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on the LoopBuddy query editor. And I'm going to find out what query number this is so that I can use it in my shortcode. When I hover over the name, I can see that it's ID 0. I look in the lower left-hand corner as I hover over things, and you can see that the very last thing says ID equals 0. So we know our query is 0. The next thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to mark that down. I write it down on the side for now. And here's a little tip I learned from Ruana. Ruanna Waldron, thank you for the tip. You can go in here, and if you mark this after the name, and you just put query 1. Now it's in your list, and when we go back to it, our list, we see now it says query 1. So now we don't have to hover over, we can quickly see that it's query 1 that we need. So if we look at this one, oops, it was query 0. So I did it wrong, sorry. Oops, query 0, I said that. Best laid plans, right? Okay, so we're waiting for it to open so I can correct that. Query 0 is what we really want. While that's waiting, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to search. I'm going to go to, what I want is the LoopBuddy shortcode. This is not kept anywhere but in the codex. So if you want to keep it other than in the codex and having to go get it all the time like I do, put it someplace where you'll remember where it is. So you can copy it here. I find sometimes if I copy it here, it doesn't paste very well. So I go over here and I do copy the code from here, right from the code thing. That way it's clean. On my page, I'm going to put in my query. My query ID is 0. My layout for now is going to be 0. I'm not going to save that for now. I'm just going to keep it. And obviously, my server is going kawaii. So we're going to have to wait a little bit. I'm going to look at my locations. Oh, and it's ID 0 too. So because I know it's ID 0, I can go ahead and update this. And I deselected this over here. I'm just going to go and look and see what we get and find out if we get anything good. We may or we may not. Okay, so now we are getting some things, but I'm still seeing some of those, the array information at the top. Now I know from a conversation in another chat that one of the OWNWP members had you turn on debug. So I've gone in and I've changed this from debug off to, I'm sorry, from debug being on to being off, and I saved the settings. And when I go back to the community page, we can see that we have everything in order the way that we want. Now you can, of course, always go back and do some additional styling and adding some style, some CSS style in the child theme style sheet for this particular website, and you can arrange this and get it to display how you want it to display. All right, I hope that helped a little bit, and I hope it answers some questions for anybody else who may have been having some issues with using Custom Press and LoopBuddy and getting things to display as desired. So I look forward to talking to you guys again soon, and bye-bye for now.